Hey, it's Victoria. I've just finished another book. I haven't done one for a little while, and after this one, I probably won't do any for a little while. Probably need another little break. Um, I've never done one like this before. I was given a huge and pretty old photo album with tons of newspaper articles, documents, all that kind of stuff. Not as many pictures, but mostly newspaper articles, documents, and handwritten things like that. And they asked me to make a book and then put all the things in it. So I've never done that before, so that was pretty exciting and fun to do. It's huge. This is 15 by 14 inches, and what I used was it's almost like a mat board, so it's a very, very thick board, a lot thicker than a chipboard. I ended up taking an old leather jacket I had that was like a leather trench coat, and there was a piece of it that was a little ripped, so I wasn't going to wear it anymore, and I was going to actually make it into a purse, or I still have enough to do a purse out of it. But I covered the whole back with the leather, and then I did the side, and then the bit in the front up to here. So I wanted it to be leather on the outside, just so it would wear really well. And sometimes when you open and close paper, or even when it's glued, sometimes it can crack and rip. So I'm not gonna tell you much about the person that I did this for, or who it is about, but his name is Herbert Dean. Very interesting. This is basically a video for the type of book that it is. So, but he did writing, he did a lot of different stuff. So, but I did a lot of typewriters and clocks and stuff like that. I wanted to make it that kind of Tim Holtz vintagey feel. So, so here's the front cover. I ripped the paper here. Like I said, there's a lot of Tim Holtz findings and tags and stuff like that. This is a Sizzix die cut Tim Holtz one, and then I did the brads on there, so it gave it a really nice look. Some ripped paper and distressed, and then I really love this doorknob. This was really nice to do, and it just unhooks with a cord. So there is that. I'm gonna have to go through this kind of fast because there's so much, and I just want to show you the design itself. And this book does not fit in the frame of this camera, so these are his initials, and I just did some paper and his initials on there. I left this kind of open, just did some trim on there, and then this ties up. I just didn't tie it right now. Just a lot of clocks, another die cut, and I love this paper. And then I did stamp and embossing with some distress, I think it's vintage photo distress embossing powder. And then this opens up. It's got his name, and I didn't want to glue the picture in, so I did put some tabs there, so it could be removed if you really needed to. So there's that, and that just ties up. And then in each of the pockets it has documents and stuff like that, and I did want to preserve that, so I put them in page protectors. So I'm gonna maybe keep this around here so I can kind of do both sides. Same with these. So these are all like documents, and I just made a little pocket at the bottom and cut circles, and this is like a stretchy ribbon. And the same with this. It's got the document, and that comes out, and another page there. This I made tags for, and I did a larger pocket, and these are all Tim Holtz die cuts on here. And these are just a few pictures and things like that. I didn't have a lot of pictures, but what I had, worked out fine. And then another document here. This I just cut 2 strips, and this is 12 by 12, and then just put a little hook and a brad here, and then you just open it up. It's got a little, well, I guess if you can see it, that'd be better. It's got a little pocket there. So, and this one is double-sided on there. That just closes. Oops. Another pocket. I wanted to do a lot of pockets just because it was easier to fit these in. But these are all ratings and all that kind of stuff. And this is actually a marriage certificate, and you know, and I really didn't want to wreck these, so they're on, you know, page protectors are covering it, and I think it works out just fine. I didn't want to glue them in also, so they're in there, so it's not going to get wrecked. And then with all of these, this actually is just on there like that. I just put the piece of paper on each side, so then these actually can still come out too. So in case they needed to remove it for whatever reason. Another pocket this way, just some pretty clocks. Okay, and then this one has a pocket on the side, and these are all old postcards. And then it has all of that there. And another one here. And then another one on this side. This is actually on there, so that's just one-sided. And then this one I actually did a little flip out. So it has that there, and then this, and then these come out, this little pocket, and then this one up here comes out. It looks like this one would, but it doesn't. That's actually a piece of paper, so it's kind of tricky. More there, and a pocket on this side. I have a really nice stamp, a stamp punch. That's what I'm trying to say. So I use that on a bunch of that stuff. I think it looks really cool with that. Just some more things there. And then another pocket here. And then this one opens up like that, and there's one underneath, and then there's a back to this one. So I wanted to make sure they were able to read that. This one I left open since I didn't have a lot of pictures. I did like a Polaroid thing there, and then these they can put pictures on, so that's a little bit of extra room that they could, another one of these, put some pictures on. I made a gusset pocket on here, and then this is a fold out, or just a 3-ring binder that I made, all pocket pages, because it has a lot of documents, a lot of written things that were not documents, a lot of written things that were, I didn't know exactly what to do with them and where to put them, so I thought if I put them in this, it's easy to flip through. They won't get, you know, wrecked or fingerprints and that kind of stuff on them. So that's what I did with these. And then just added some further ribbon on there. And that just goes in the pocket. And then this is the hidden binding system. So it's got, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So there's 8 of these on the binding system here. And then I knew I was going to need so much more room, and with the rest that I was going to do would need to be on a ring, the cinch rings. So that's what I did with this. And these are also page protectors, and I just had this was really nice. I had these that went vertical. So we have that, and these are just a lot of things in here that they can flip through. Actually horizontal, I don't know what I said, vertical. So these are really, he was part of the minstrel, so he did acting, he did a lot of stuff, so some really cool pictures on here. And then these are the 12 by 12 sheets. So I ended up having to put a 1-inch piece of black cardstock on each of these also. So I did that, and then I used the cinch binding, and I did all the holes so they would all match, which took a while because there's a lot of sheets in here, and each of them are on like the black cardstock and the documents, or most of this here is newspaper articles. So, but there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. Deadwood Dick, he was part of the Lake Country Players. Like I said, I don't really want to go into the gentleman himself. He was pretty cool though. But I've never done one of these, so it was, I tried to group the stuff together, all the Black Hills or Western kind of stuff and trail rides and that, and then I tried to do the sports together. So that's what all of this is, all the trail rides and when he was performing in the Deadwood Dick and all of that. But I'll just go through some of these, and these I just did Scrabble pieces that are stickers, and then I just did tags on that and just did some rope, and then this is like the sporty section. He was a grand champion of this league here, and I just did a bat and ball that I actually did all that freehand, so I just made that with some wood paper and did some black Sharpie on there to make it look like the grip on that. So here's some other pages, and this one I really liked. I'm going to flip through these other ones fairly quickly, but this is a typewriter page. I can't remember what paper that is from, but I put Herbert R. Dean on it, and I just did it on the typewriter letter, or on the buttons there. So, and then I did some typewriters here. Those are wood pieces. And then I'm just going to kind of flip through this, because this is all pretty much the same. I really liked this page because we belonged to the Flanagan doorpost, this exact one, and my dad belonged to my mom, and I think my sister and I belonged to like the junior auxiliary, so I thought that was kind of funny. But not the same time. I don't think that my dad was there, but because this was a lot earlier, but that was pretty cool. So, and these are all, like I said, these are all just pages, and I just put this stuff onto the black cardstock so it really stood out. And that's all what this is. It's all just page after page of articles that they had saved. And most of them I did some kind of stamp in white that looks kind of like chalk. And the Tim Holtz Distress pen also looks like chalk on white, or on the black cardstock. So, and I had a lot of these really cool newspaper embellishments. They were all little newspapers that are like folded or whatever, so I used a bunch of those on there. And I had from Hobby Lobby, I think I got this phone paper, and then there's typewriter paper I used. So that was nice. And I did get most of the page protectors from Hobby Lobby, which we finally have one that opened in Waukesha, so that's awesome. Otherwise we had to go to Madison or West Bend, so we're pretty happy about that. So here's all of that, and just some film strip and another die cut. And then this is the last page, the back of it. So the binding system needed a back, so I did a nice thick, I think I did maybe two chipboards together, and then used that as the back. So then that got glued onto the back of this, and then the leather wrapped around probably about an inch or inch and a half all the way around. And then I just took a button, and I did a really nice eyelet through, and then knotted the cord on both sides so then it wouldn't go through. And I put my Victoria stamp. Usually I put it on the back, but I obviously didn't want to wreck the leather, and you wouldn't have been able to have seen it, so I just kind of distressed it a little bit and put it on there. So, but it is, as you can see, really thick. It's just, like I said, 15 by 14 inches, so it is really huge, but I hope they love it. It was really a challenge to do, but really fun. So I'm going to give it to them today, and I'm hoping everything goes well and they love it. Thank you for watching.